of the Insanity Vlogs. I am on the floor because it's a very gray day and I can't get any better lighting. So there you go. What can I say about Insanity as we get done with it? You know, I can remember being in the same room and thinking about how exciting it was going to be that this opportunity was happening, but more importantly, thinking that I had to be insane for even trying to do this, and just kind of hoping that I could survive it, let alone do well with it or have any level of success. I just wanted to kind of be able to get through the program, and so I can. With that said, what are my reflections on the whole process? My 60-day journey with Insanity and with Shaun T is sadly over. However, I can tell you that this will be the first of many, many, many rounds. I can tell you also that I think this is a pretty good purchase to make because if you're at a moderate, maybe mild to moderate fitness level, you should really enjoy this one. It is a great thing to purchase, a program to purchase. For people who want something that's going to last, I could see myself getting a good 2 to 3 years of challenge out of this video. So at $119, that's a pretty good deal for people who are not coaches. Obviously for coaches it's only $90. With that said, I want to give you some kind of overview concepts with it. You know that I like the program. My favorite features were the music on and the music off options, because I get bored sometimes and I want to play my own music, and as exciting as Shaun T's music is, every now and then I want a little move, shake, drop, or something else that's a little more exciting as I'm going through my workout. The second thing that I absolutely loved about it was the countdown. I loved, he's got like this series of blocks across the screen, and you can see it almost like an hourglass. You can see it kind of counting down visually as you're working out. Loved it. And then lastly, of course, I just really appreciated Tanya. If she's out there, she was my person that was always giving it 100% every single time she was out there, and she was the person who kept me going. There were other people working out. There's like 10 people or something, but I loved the girl Tanya, and I think she's also the same person who did the Shakeology workout. And just that person, whoever she may be, wherever she may be in life, thank you so much, because you were my encouragement as I went through, and you were the reason that I believed that I could do it, because I don't know, I'm nowhere near as fit as you are, but you were my person. Lastly, I really truly enjoyed the diversity of the program, and I like the fact that I have the deluxe kit, and that means I can kind of go up or down. There, instead of like regular abs, you could do insane abs and different things. The Dig Deeper program, where you kind of kick everything up a notch, I love that. So I'm looking forward to, I don't know, maybe May, being ready to actually take those on. I do plan to do another round, and that would be in maybe February after I do this run. The 10K that I'm training for. I will say the one downside of Insanity is that I felt that it consumed almost everything. I mean, it was so taxing that there was very little room for hustle, which is another activity that I like. It's like a dance class. Very little activity for, well, sometimes I could run, but a lot of times I was just wiped. And if I did any other thing, it felt like I just kind of whipped myself completely. So it sucked up all of my exercise space and all of my energy. But it was worth it. Great results. So, results. That brings me there. Great segue. Here are the stats. Very happy. My favorite part. So overall, I lost 6.4 pounds in the 60 days that I did Insanity. I lost, let's see, 3.5 inches on my waist. You gotta like that. 3.5 inches on my waist, and I think you can actually see that on the before and after shot. I lost 2 inches on my hips. Sorry, I don't have what that is on my paper there. On my hips, 2 inches off the hips, 2 inches off my bust, 0.25 or just 1/4 of an inch off of both thighs. I'm sorry, that's both arms. My list here. Both thighs I lost on the right thigh at 1.5, on the left thigh 2 inches. And then on BMI, I went from a 27.8 BMI to a 26.5 BMI. So that's 1.3 down. closer to my goals. I think my goal is 22 BMI. So hopefully after 10K training, I'll get a little closer to that. But I'm not pressed. It's okay. I like the journey, and I like what's going on. I like the changes. In terms of visible, like clothing size changes, I went from a size 12 at the very beginning of the program. I'd gotten into a 12, and I was kind of like sliding very comfortably into a 12. Like there was no real stress about the 12 at the very beginning of the program. And then now I'm an 8. And that's cool. Nothing better than getting a whole bunch of size 8 jeans for Christmas. Yes. So that was definitely cool. The last thing I want to kind of talk to you about is before and after, because a lot of my results are pretty cool, and I love them. I love the fact that I'm recovering from running in 2 minutes when I used to take forever to come back down. I can remember my trainer saying keep moving, because you can get sick if your heart rate is still very high. And my heart rate was always very high for about 20-30 minutes after I'd even worked out, it felt like. And now I'm back to normal like within minutes. I think that's insane, but it's such a blessing at the same time. But I'm going to tell you that when it came down to putting my before and after shots on, I have side shots that I'm sharing with you today, but I had front shots too. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I could not broadcast my before shots, the front shot, for the life of me, and I'm going to tell you why. When you're losing weight, and if you've lost weight or if you're in the process, you're going to see this happening. My belly button, I know this is going to sound crazy, but my belly button has actually lifted. It is physically in a different location. So it's about, I don't know, maybe an inch or 2 higher than it used to be. Very strange. Whatever. But the other side of that is that for those of you who've had kids and perhaps you did it overweight, I don't know, I just got stretch marks mania. I didn't see the stretch marks as much when my belly button was lower, but when my belly button raised, hey, happy trees all over my belly. And in the before shot, you can see it. You can see that my abs are starting to kind of get nice little definition on the side, which is great, but you can also see the skin that just looks ravished, and I don't even know how to tell you the struggle that I felt in my body and in my heart, because I thought, okay, on one side I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of what I've done, and on the other side of it, I can't bear to look at that, let alone put that on a picture, let alone put that on the internet. Are you kidding me? Like, I feel like that's something that nobody needs to see. Even lingerie is gonna cover that sucker up. And I don't know. I don't even know if that's something I would consider options, like cosmetic options to take care of. I had a friend once who lost a lot of weight, and she said that nothing was worse than losing all of that weight and having to look at her body afterward, because there was that split feeling, and I looked at her thinking, you're crazy, and now I know what she's talking about, because I'm very happy. And at the same time, I'm also a little mortified by what's left over in the wake. I try not to look at it. I try not to think about it. So before and after photos, for me, highly emotional. I took the pictures on, not yesterday, but the night before that, late at night. And you're not getting any of that. Nobody's getting any of that. With that said, though, it made me think about body image and body perception and being satisfied with what you see. And I started thinking about this picture, and I'll try to find it, and I'll try to put it on this video. There's a picture of me that I remember in a swimsuit back when my boobs were still perky and my skin was still stretch mark free. And I'm in a bikini, and I look at that picture and I think, oh, the body there. You know, just how great is that? How smooth is that skin? How clean is that canvas? And I can remember the day I was with my friend Kat and, Angela, and I was with my friend Nancy, and we were at the beach, and I can remember to this day being so disgusted with myself that I was so fat and I hated what I looked like. And I think to myself, right now, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, girl, you looked good. And in that moment, I felt like I could vomit at the very thought of what I must look like. I smiled and I had fun, didn't let them know how I felt, but in my little quiet space, I felt so sick and gross with myself. Imagine that for a second. Talk about perception. Talk about perspective. In that place, what I saw was, ugh, in this place, what I see is beautiful. And so I'm hoping, my prayer for myself, and I know I think about other people a lot, but I think also selfishly, my prayer for myself is that at some point, the body that I see right now, I will take that moment, and I try to do this all the time, take the moment to value the self that I see, because I cannot believe the time and the years that I wasted thinking I looked absolutely ugh. And I'm looking at that body now thinking, girl, I paid for that, like, good money. So I would say to you as I leave, many of you are recommitting to fitness. Many of you are getting on the happy train, is what I call it, to go forward with your exercise, your nutrition. It's the new year. Lots of you are doing New Year's resolutions. I want to encourage you in that. I want to tell you, don't be afraid of the after. Don't be afraid of the expectation, the pressure, the leftovers, the stretch marks, the saggy skin, the whatever that you might find, because that will be beautiful. And while you may not be brave enough to post it on the internet for all the world to see, for the future, like I'm not willing to do it, you'll still look good, and you'll still inspire someone, and you'll still be healthy, and that will be the body that you've been granted. And every little mark that I have, I know it's a part of my story, and it's a part of my testimony to other people. So I want you to honor that, even if you choose not to broadcast it internationally. Until next, I hope you are feeling fit and beautiful. Join me for 10K training. That's next up on the docket.